Hey, Tony Gas here. Now, I want to talk to you about healing before love. Now, this coming from just practical wisdom, just practical life advice, just from me being a relationship coach for the last 15 years after struggling in relationships and then starting to learn and get it. And everything I learned, I just shared it. Doesn't mean I was perfect. Doesn't mean I'm still not learning to this day. But I believe you'll find most of the stuff to be confirmation. Some may be revelation, but I think a lot of times we need to hear it because when it's confirmed, that's really when we take action. And this is for men and women, so you can share it with men and women. And this is very important in our relationships. And what I plan to do, Lord willing, is have one of these videos go up at noon every day, just walking you through the process all the way up to making love work based on my experience and what I know. Now, I've been married 15 years as well, because that's really when I started to learn and study and grow to go from being a womanizer to being faithful to one woman. It took a lot of work, a lot of thought, and a lot of action. So that's what we're working through. Now, for those of you who have taken some of the courses on TonyGassAcademy.com, this will be like a recap. You've heard some of this. So I want you to think about this. And first, when you think about healing, now, yes, you can go and do therapy. You could do therapy if that's affordable, or even if it's, foundation page for it or what have you. That won't hurt you at all. Coaching, it won't hurt you. You're doing that work. And at the same time, there will be work that you do yourself, work that you have to do. And this is where it get real, because you live with yourself. So you're going to be home with yourself at night when nobody's there. You are going to be in your head all day long when nobody else is there. And so that's when the healing really, really matters, when you're able to do the work that it takes to do when nobody is making you do it. So I want you to think all the way back, go all the way back to your childhood and think about the wounds you have from childhood. Think about the mommy wounds, the daddy wounds, the sibling wounds, family members, friends, teachers, authority figures, first responders, whoever it is, friends, family, whoever it is in your life that hurt you. And now think about the things that you can remember. So that may be something that happened with a family member, with a friend. And as you go through these events and you write them down or you type them up and you say, okay, so think about this. If I say, okay, my 9th grade girlfriend, if I'm thinking in a relationship space, while she was dating me, cheated with an older guy. So that makes me not trust women who look like her. So I identified a pain point, then I identify how that surfaced in my life. Then I'm able to confront that and say, and this is just me making this process up, okay? This process may actually exist in therapy or other forms of teaching. I didn't go through therapy. I couldn't afford therapy when I was changing my life. So I just had to be very practical and just use the Holy Bible and what have you. So now I identify that pain point. Then I identify the fruit of it, how it's showing up in my life. And then I can address the lie in it. So then I can say, you know what? When I evaluate it, I could say, okay, she comes from this type of environment, this type of household. She suffered from this type of fear, this type of worry. This man represented this. I represented that. She saw this. She was taught this. So all of that led up to her not knowing who she was, not knowing what a relationship looks like, looking for financial security, looking for approval of men, looking for this, looking for that. So now I'm able to speak to the lies in it. I'm able to address it, assess it, and then change the narrative, rewrite the messaging in my mind and say, that was situational. That was based on her circumstance. It does not reflect who women are as a whole. So now I'm able to heal that. And then I will say to myself, so now when I meet a woman, I need to get to know her for who she is. I need to learn about her history, learn about her biography, learn about her present, see how she thinks, see how she moves, see how she carries herself, and then make an assessment and, dare I say, judgment of how I feel she treats me or how she will treat me. And do I believe that I can trust her based on who she is, based on who she has become? And if I say yes and I like her and I'm getting to know her, then I say, okay, let me pay close attention to her, the things she says, the things she doesn't say, and let me really see where she is in her life. So now I'm able to get to know this person for who they are and not based on or judging them based on who I once knew. And so that's a healing process. Now, that's just for that. But what about when it gets deeper? When it's things that you really don't understand. It's things that happen to you and you're like, why me? This is not fair, or this really hurts. And that's where your therapy will come in at. That's where that'll help you. But then in your own work, you can take and feel it, but then you also can take and give that experience a purpose. It might not have a meaning, or what I mean by that is you may not understand fully why it happened. And it could have happened for no reason at all, meaning that there's no rhyme or reason why somebody would do that to you, but it happened. And you're living, and you're growing, you're working, you're here. So then that means if you're here, you have a purpose. You're living, you have a purpose. If you're here, that means you're not just living, you're thriving. So that means you're thriving and you are doing better than someone who is surviving. So what does that mean? That means that someone who is thriving, even though you may not feel like it, if you're here getting this message, you're thriving. You got data plan, or you got the internet, you got time, you got the wherewithal, you got the desire, you got the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. You're here, you're thriving. See, someone who is surviving, they're not here. Their head is in their pillow. They're crying, they're hurting, they're broken, they're lost. So now this thing that hurt you, that you cannot find a rhyme or reason for it, but you can take and give it purpose. So you say, you know what? I'm going to take and I'm going to write a book. Or I'm going to start a foundation, a charity. Or I'm going to start a for-profit company, LLC. Or I'm going to become a mentor, life coach, whichever one. I already got my degree in psychology or what have you. I'm going to hop on my mentor.life and I'm going to start posting my link on my Facebook every week. Every Thursday, I'm posting my link. So people done got paid and got their direct deposit. Eventually, somebody going to click that link and they're going to hire me for a session because they happen to be going through in that moment. And I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to post it on my LinkedIn. And I'm just going to keep doing that. And because I have the wherewithal to get on YouTube, to look things up, to read books, to seek healing, to seek growth, I'm doing better than that person with their head in their pillow. I'm doing better than that person that, yeah, they go on Facebook just to kind of scroll through, but then they happen to see my link to my coaching page, and then they book me for that $25 an hour, 50, 75, 100. And now I can help that person because now I can identify the things I did to work on my healing. And see, this is so important because if you don't heal, just think about it. Take the time and think about this now. And y'all got to take your time with me. I'll probably be on here about 30 minutes. So if it go longer, y'all forgive me. Y'all already know how long it is based on what time I say. But take your time and think about this now. Really think about this. Picture, because you might not be able to picture yourself. Picture that coworker or that family member or that spouse, ex-lover, current lover, whoever, because you might be in a relationship and still have to do some healing. Picture that person who you know has been hurt and they have not healed. And you could see that they're hurting. And you could feel their pain because they're taking it out on you. They may cry really easy. They may snap, like go off on you really easy. They may shut down really easy. They may get angry really easy. You can identify this hurting person. And if you happen to know them and you know what it is, then you can see like, wow, this happened to him or her at this time. It could be 6 months ago. It could be 6 years ago. Some people could be 60 years ago. And you can say he or she still has not healed. Like they still hurting. They still lashing out. They still taking this out on other people. Like, how is this fair? How is this healthy? How is this conducive? Like, how does this person continue to just live without wanting to thrive? Like survive, but not want to thrive, or like just keep staying in this rut. And when you can see that, then that'll help you identify it in yourself and say, what do I need to work on? Like, what do I need to tell myself? So I may need to tell myself, listen, I am worthy. I am worthy. I'm smart. I'm good looking. I'm healthy, or I'm successful. I got a good personality. I got a good heart. Like, I am worthy. I am worthy. I don't have to be scared of the person I'm in love with or the person I'm with leaving me for someone else. Like I gotta have confidence. I gotta walk in confidence. I gotta have trust. I gotta stop being insecure. Be secure, be secure. And you talking to yourself, and then when it pops up, boom, you feel this insecurity. And you're getting ready to speak from insecurity. You're getting ready to say, well, who was that? Or who are you talking to? Or who are you texting? And you say, you know what? You run it through your head and you say, who are you texting? You run that through your head, and then you picture it, and you're like, okay. Then you see them in your mind, and they're like, you see them in your mind, and they're like, I'm texting my mom. And then you picture this all in your head. And then you think like, oh man, I feel stupid. And then you think about it rationally instead of insecurely. You think about it rationally and you say, oh, you know what? You're right. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would they text someone they're cheating with right in front of me? Like, what sense did, like, or someone like they're sleeping with or having an inappropriate relationship with, why would they text that person right in front of me? And then you think about it like that, and now, not to say it hasn't happened, but you got to remember who you're with. So you're with a person that got some class, got some dignity, got some self-respect. You're not just with a random Joe Blow off the street. You with somebody, like you chose this person. So now when you think through this, you're healing actively. You're rewiring your brain. You're teaching your brain new patterns. You're learning this new pattern, and you're like, oh, okay, I see, I get this. So this is very important. Very important. Do the work. Do the work. Get this in your spirit. Make sure you walk through this healing. There's several other ways to process healing, to go through. That's why I say you may need therapy, coaching, your self-work. You may have a plan of healing, but don't shy away from the work. So, hey, thank you so much. And I said 30 minutes, but I ain't going to just be rambling. I'm going to be talking if I got scenarios and stuff. And I'm filming a bunch of videos because I may be going out of town, not sure. Got to see my passport to get back in time. But God bless y'all. We'll talk soon. Hey, we'll talk tomorrow or later today. Never know. But we'll talk at least tomorrow at noon, Lord willing. So noon Eastern. That's 9 a.m. if you're in California. So make sure you check, watch it on your lunch break, or watch it when you get home. Get this in, get your pen and pad, take your notes, get that in your spirit. And if you missed the singles class, the replay is available on TonyGaslingAcademy.com. It's Saturday school, single session or something like that. God bless you. We'll talk soon.